Well, this is my homemade malt. It's just about a third of a bag of feed barley, so there's about 7 kilos there. To start this malting, I've got a tub like so. Now, in the bottom of the tub, you can see in between each of those little lines there's a little hole, and there's a little group of holes in the middle. I did put slightly too many holes, so there's a hole, that's a little hole, that's a little hole, that's a little hole. So I did put in too many holes, but better too many than not enough, and it gets the water doesn't drain out because your grain will go off. So you could probably do this at a bag even. It just needs to drain pretty freely. And basically what you do is you put your barley in there. I just leave it in the laundry tub. Just sit that straight in the laundry tub so I can just run water straight into it. Put my grain in there, fill it up with lukewarm water, and do that about 4 times over the course of 2 days. So morning and night, probably 6 times would be better. That's what I generally do, is morning, lunchtime, and then night time before I go to bed. And then you lay it out. I've got this is a ground sheet that's normally put underneath concrete. You buy a whole roll of it, like 20 metres, for about 10 Aussie bucks or something like that. It's pretty cheap. It's just to protect the floor, as this is in my bedroom. It's the only room I've got with enough room so the cats don't get in here, and I can just shut it up nicely. And this gets quite warm, like that's be a good 35 degrees in there, I reckon. It might be hard to see, but this is end of the second day on the floor. This malt is fairly close to being finished. Now you have to stir it quite regularly, as often as possible really, to help let the heat out, keep oxygen in the grain, stop the rootlets from tangling, and to keep everything same kind of moisture level. If you don't mix it enough, you can either get mould or bacterial infection. And you just keep your eye out for any type of infection, and it should have a nice kind of sweet grassy smell, like a yeah, it's a really nice kind of slightly sweet grassy smell. Now, to tell when they're ready, I'll find a grain that's about right. Well, I can't get very close focus on this, so you'll have to bear with me. Now, if you look on one side of the grain, which is that side there, there's a groove running down. Now the other side of the grain, the back side to that, the shoot will run up the back of that. Now if I get my fingernails, split this open along the back. Yeah, it's not quite finished, that's where the shoot was inside the grain. Now the shoot should reach all the way to the top for it to be finished. So that one's not quite, but because it's a home malt, it's ungraded barley, it's really hard to get everything to malt at the same time. Like, I'm sure I'll be able to find one where it's actually out through the end. Or not.
But basically you want the inside chute to be just the full length of the grain underneath the rear of the husk, and that's when you're fully malted, and that's when it goes into the kiln. And the rolling action of the kiln dries out all these rootlets, which you don't want in the mix because it adds a lot of protein. And they all come out through the screening on the front. I've had, apart from the odd infection in that, I've had no problems with it, and it's quite. Said I do basically do enough grain to do a 6 kilos, 7 kilos of grain in a batch of malt. So that's one batch of beer. I'm slowly making up some roasted malts, and you do get these here, little knot of grains. This is because it's not in a rolling. Now commercially it's done in a rolling thing to stir the grains, but I've never found these cause any problems because the drying mill breaks them apart quite nicely. I'm slowly accruing a batch, some different roasts to make different beers with, and I'll go through my roasting setup. I might show you some of my homemade patent malt, which is about all I've got left at the moment. Yeah.